I zipped the bag slowly, like if I took my time, the moment might change its mind. Don't drag this out, Lena said from the doorway. It's already hard enough. I didn't look at her. Hard for who? She crossed her arms. For both of us. I laughed once. It came out wrong. You packed my things while I was at work. I packed what was yours. What was ours, I said. We built this together. She sighed like I was exhausting her. You keep saying that. I stood up with the bag in my hand. It felt lighter than it should have. Maybe because most of my life was still in this apartment. Maybe because I'd already lost it before today. So that's it? I asked. You just decided? I didn't just decide, she said. I've been thinking about this for months. And you never said a word. She shrugged. You wouldn't have understood. I finally looked at her. Try me. She met my eyes, calm and distant. You're comfortable being small. That word hit harder than anything else. Small? You don't push, she said. You don't demand more. You settle. And I can't live like that. I swallowed. I gave up my job offer for you. I didn't ask you to. I moved cities for you. That was your choice. I paid half the rent when you were starting out. And I appreciated it, she said quickly. But that doesn't mean I owe you my future. I felt my chest tighten. So where am I supposed to go? She hesitated for half a second. You'll figure it out. That's it? I asked. After 3 years? She stepped aside and opened the door wider. I think it's better if you leave now. I stood there, bag in hand, staring at the place I helped turn into a home. The couch we argued on. The kitchen where we planned a life that apparently only existed to me. Is there someone else? I asked. Her silence answered before she did. That's not the point. It is to me. She looked away. I didn't cheat. Then what did you do? I moved on, she said. Before I wasted more time. I nodded slowly, like my body was trying to keep me upright. You already replaced me. No, she said. I outgrew you. I stepped into the hallway. The door clicked shut behind me, soft and final. The elevator ride down felt longer than it should have. Each floor passing felt like something being stripped away. By the time the doors opened, my hands were shaking. Outside, the air felt colder. I stood there, staring at the building, waiting for something to happen. For her to run out. For someone to stop me. For the world to explain how I went from partner to problem overnight. My phone buzzed. Evan's name lit up the screen. Did it happen? He asked when I answered. Yeah, I said. I'm out. Where are you? Outside. A pause. You want to come here? I don't want to be a burden. You're not, he said. You're my friend. I swallowed. She said I'm small. He snorted. She's blind. She said I'm holding her back. She's projecting. I leaned against the building. She didn't even sound angry. That's worse, he said quietly. Means she planned it. I keep thinking I missed something. You missed who she really was, Evan said. That's not on you. I closed my eyes. She already moved on. Let her, he said. You don't have to disappear because she decided you're inconvenient. I hung up and started walking, not sure where I was going. Every step felt unreal. like I was watching myself from the outside. A couple passed me, laughing. Someone brushed past my shoulder and apologized. Life kept moving like nothing had happened. I stopped at the corner and looked down at my bag. Everything I owned fit inside it. Clothes. A charger. A notebook I hadn't opened in years. My phone buzzed again. A text from Lena. I transferred your share of the deposit. I hope you understand this is for the best. I stared at the message until the words blurred. For the best. Like this was a favor. I typed, I loved you. 3 dots appeared. Then disappeared. No reply. I deleted the message and shoved my phone back into my pocket. That's when it hit me. She thought I was done. She thought walking away from her meant walking away from everything. From stability. From direction. From value. She thought I'd fade. I adjusted the strap on my bag and started moving again. I didn't know where I'd sleep tonight. I didn't know what tomorrow looked like. But I knew one thing. I wasn't small. I was just quiet. And quiet people survive things loud people never see coming. Evan's couch creaked every time I moved, like it was annoyed I existed on it. You sure you're okay? He asked from the kitchen. I'm fine, I said. That wasn't convincing. I didn't say I was great. I said I was fine. He walked over with 2 mugs and handed one to me. You've been staring at the wall for 10 minutes. I'm replaying conversations. Stop, he said. That way lies insanity. I keep hearing her voice. That's normal, he said. Temporary. She didn't even cry. Evan sat down across from me. Some people grieve before they leave. I didn't get that option. No, he said. You got blindsided. I took a sip of the coffee. It tasted burnt. She packed my things like I was already gone. She made room. For someone else. He didn't answer, which felt like confirmation. I sat up. What if she's right? About what? About me being small. Evan frowned. Define small. Not ambitious enough. Not hungry enough. Too comfortable. You worked 2 jobs to support her. That doesn't sound impressive anymore. Because she rewrote the story, he said. In her version, you were the obstacle. I rubbed my face. I believed her. That's because you loved her. The word love landed wrong now. Heavy. Embarrassing. I don't even know who I am without her, I said. You're the same guy, Evan said. Just without someone draining you. That feels optimistic. It's accurate. I didn't reply. My phone buzzed on the table. A message from Lena. Did you land somewhere safe? I stared at it. Evan followed my gaze. You going to answer? What do I say? The truth. I typed, I'm at Evan's. She replied almost instantly. Good. I'm glad. Glad. Like she was relieved the problem had been relocated. She sounds peaceful, Evan said dryly. I want to scream at her. Then don't text. I want her to know what she did. She knows, he said. She just doesn't care the way you want her to. I put the phone face down. She took more than the apartment. She took control, Evan said. And you let her. That hurt because it was true. The next morning, I went to work early just to avoid lying there thinking. The office lights were still dim when I arrived. Rough night? Maya asked from her desk. I hesitated. How can you tell? You're wearing yesterday's shirt. I glanced down. Right. She tilted her head. Want to talk? Not really. She didn't push. I'll be here if you change your mind. By noon, I changed my mind. We sat in the break room, plastic chairs, bad vending machine snacks. She kicked you out? Maya asked. She said it was mutual. Maya raised an eyebrow. Was it? No. She always like that? Controlled, I said. Careful. Strategic. And you? I adjusted myself around her. That sounds exhausting. It was love, I said automatically. Maya looked at me. Love doesn't erase you. I laughed softly. Tell that to past me. She took advantage of your loyalty, Maya said. That's not your flaw. She moved on before I even knew there was a problem. That means she was done long before she told you. I keep wondering when I lost her. You didn't, Maya said. You just stopped being useful to her. That stung worse than anger. After work, I walked instead of taking the bus. I needed the time. I passed the old coffee shop where Lena and I planned trips we never took. I passed the gym I quit because she said I was spending too much time on myself. I passed pieces of me everywhere. At Evan's place, I pulled the notebook from my bag. The one buried under clothes. What's that? He asked. Something I used to write in. Before her? Before I stopped wanting things. I flipped it open. Goals. Ideas. Sketches of plans that never happened. I forgot this version of me, I said. He didn't die, Evan said. He just went quiet. My phone buzzed again. Another message from Lena. We should talk at some point. For closure. I laughed. She wants closure now. Evan shook his head. She wants relief from guilt. I typed, I'm not ready. She didn't reply. For the first time, that felt okay. The next few days blurred together. Work. Couch. Silence. Lena didn't text again. That hurt more than I expected. You miss the habit, Evan said. Not her. What if she never misses me? She will, he said. Just not the way you want. I stared at the ceiling. She thinks I lost everything. She thinks you lost her, he corrected. Which, to her, means the same thing. I closed my eyes. I let her define my worth. You let someone else hold the pen, Evan said. Time to take it back. I sat up slowly. I don't even know where to start. Start small, he said. Funny, right? I smiled despite myself. That night, I opened the notebook again. And I wrote one sentence. I won't disappear to make someone else feel bigger. It wasn't revenge. It wasn't anger. But it was the first thing that felt like mine. And for the first time since I walked out that door, I slept without dreaming of her. Maya didn't ease into it. You're bleeding, she said, sliding into the chair across from me. I'm not injured. Emotionally, she clarified. And it's obvious. I stared at my coffee. I didn't know there were rules. There always are, she said. You just didn't know you were playing. I thought relationships were simple. She smiled without warmth. That's how people get robbed politely. I looked up. Robbed? You gave time, money, loyalty, and silence, she said. What did you get back? I opened my mouth, then closed it. That pause, she said. That's your answer. I exhaled slowly. She didn't break the law. No, Maya said. She broke trust. Law doesn't care about that. So I'm just supposed to accept it? You're supposed to understand it, she said. Acceptance comes later. She pulled out her phone. Meet Nina. A woman across the cafe glanced up and waved. Nina didn't smile when she sat down. You're the guy who gave everything away. I wouldn't phrase it like that. I would, she said. Because it's accurate. Maya watched quietly as Nina leaned forward. Did you sign anything without reading it? Yes. Did you trust verbal promises? Yes. Did you assume love protected you? Yes. Nina nodded. Then this outcome was predictable. I stiffened. That feels unfair. It's neutral, she said. Fairness is emotional. Systems aren't. So she planned this. She prepared for a version of life without you, Nina said. You didn't. Maya spoke softly. He thought loyalty was security. Nina looked at me. Loyalty without leverage is charity. That word hit hard. Charity? You gave. She collected, Nina said. Then she closed the account. I clenched my jaw. So what now? Now you learn, she said. Or you repeat. I leaned back. I don't want revenge. Good, Nina said. Revenge is loud and sloppy. What do I want then? Control, she said. Quiet control. Maya nodded. That's the shift. I stared at them. I don't even know where to start. With money, Nina said. Always start with money. I don't have much. You don't need much, she said. You need awareness. She slid a folder across the table. Read this. What is it? Basic ownership structures, she said. Things people assume instead of verify. I flipped through it. Why are you helping me? Because people like your ex rely on people like you staying ignorant, Nina said. And I dislike that. I closed the folder. She thought I'd be helpless. Maya said quietly, she thought you'd disappear. I felt something settle in my chest. Not anger. Not sadness. Something colder. Later that week, Nina dragged me to meet Caleb. He handles listings, she said. And ego. Caleb didn't stand when I reached the table. So this is him, he asked Nina. This is me, I said. Caleb smirked. Relax. I meant him. I sat anyway. Nice to meet you. Is it? He asked. You look like someone between couches. Nina didn't react. He's here to learn. Caleb waved a hand. Learning costs. I can pay, I said. He laughed. With what? I met his eyes. Time. That's adorable, he said. But useless. Nina leaned in. Test him. Caleb shrugged. Fine. What do you want? Understanding, I said. About? How people lose everything without realizing it. Caleb chuckled. By trusting the wrong people. And how they get it back. He studied me now. They don't. They adapt. That's enough, Nina said. Caleb stood. You're not dangerous, he said to me. Which means you're safe. As he walked away, Nina smiled faintly. He underestimated you. I felt that. Good, she said. Remember it. On the walk home, Maya spoke. You okay? I think so. You didn't flinch. I used to. That's growth, she said. That night, Evan noticed the change. You look different, he said. I learned something. That usually hurts. It did, I said. Now it focuses. He nodded. That's the version of you she never saw. I opened the notebook again. Not dreams this time. Rules. I wrote what Nina said. Loyalty without leverage is charity. I wrote what Maya said. Love doesn't erase you. I wrote what I felt. Ignorance is expensive. My phone buzzed. A message from Lena. Can we talk? I stared at it longer than I should have. Evan watched me. You going to answer? No, I said. Not yet. Why not? Because I finally understand something. What? She didn't win because she was smarter, I said. She won because I didn't know the game. Evan smiled. And now? Now I'm learning the rules. I put the phone face down. For the first time, it didn't feel like running away. It felt like choosing position. I didn't want to hurt her. I didn't want to beg her. I wanted something quieter. Something permanent. I wanted control over where I stood. And I knew something else now. She thought the story ended when I walked out. But that was just where I stopped being naive. And started being deliberate. I saw her before she saw me. She was standing near the counter, phone in hand, laughing at something on the screen like the world hadn't rearranged itself since the last time we spoke. That laugh used to pull me toward her. Now it just sounded familiar. Hey, she said when she noticed me. Wow. You look okay. I nodded. I am. She tilted her head. Really? Yes. She smiled like she'd caught me lying. That's good. I was worried. You don't have to be. She laughed lightly. I mean, moving out like that can't be easy. It wasn't dramatic, I said. It was final. She leaned back against the counter. You always had a way of making things sound heavier than they are. I'm just being clear. She waved her hand. You were always like that. Serious. Thoughtful. Careful. I didn't respond. So, she said, where are you staying now? With a friend. Oh, she said, nodding slowly. Temporary, then. For now. She smiled again, softer this time. I knew you'd land on your feet. I didn't fall, I said. She laughed, quick and dismissive. You always did that. Turn everything into a statement. I let the silence sit. She checked her phone. You working the same job? Yes. That must be tough, she said. After everything. It's work. She looked at me closely now. You're very calm. I'm fine. That made her laugh again. Louder this time. You always say that. I mean it now. She shook her head. You don't have to pretend with me. I'm not. She studied my face like she was searching for cracks. You know, I thought you'd be more upset. I was, I said. Earlier. And now? Now I'm present. She smiled like that answer amused her. You sound like a motivational poster. Maybe. She leaned forward. You're not still mad, are you? No. That surprises me. It shouldn't. She frowned slightly. I expected more emotion. I ran out. That made her pause. A man stepped up beside me then, quiet, patient, holding a cup of coffee like he belonged wherever he stood. Ready? He asked. I nodded. Almost. She glanced at him, then back at me. Friend? Something like that. He smiled politely. Nice to meet you. She returned the smile out of reflex. You too. He stepped away without another word. She watched him go. He seems serious. He listens. She smirked. That was never your problem. It was. She laughed again. You always blamed yourself. I learned. She folded her arms. So what now? Now I go back to my day. That's it? That's enough. She searched my face again. You don't need help? No. Money? No. Advice? I smiled slightly. No. She exhaled. You're really okay. Yes. She looked away, then back. I thought this would be harder for you. It was, I said. You just missed that part. She blinked. I didn't see you struggling. I wasn't loud. She shrugged. You always kept things inside. I stopped doing that. When I realized silence isn't weakness. She stared at me. You sound different. I am. She laughed softly, uncertain. You really think you'll be fine? I know I will. She smiled like she didn't believe me. I hope so. So do I. The man returned then. We should go. I nodded. She looked between us. We? Yes. Her smile tightened. Well, good luck. Thank you. I turned to leave. Wait, she said. I stopped. You're not mad, she said. You're not sad. You're not asking for anything. No. That feels unfair. I turned back. You left first. She laughed again, but it sounded thinner now. You always had a way of disappearing emotionally. I learned it from you. Her smile faded. I walked away without another word. Outside, the air felt steady. Not lighter. Not heavier. Just real. You handled that well, he said. I didn't handle anything, I replied. I let it be what it was. He nodded. That takes restraint. I didn't want to win, I said. I wanted to stay intact. He smiled. That's usually how winning starts. We walked in silence for a moment. She laughed, I said finally. Yes. She thinks I'm still behind. Yes. And that's fine. He glanced at me. Why? Because people underestimate what they can't measure. He stopped walking. You're ready. For what? For what comes next? I looked back once, just once. She was still standing there, confident, smiling, certain she'd closed a chapter. She had no idea she'd just misread the story. And I didn't correct her. Because silence, this time, wasn't submission. It was position. The room was colder than it needed to be. Caleb sat first, already relaxed, legs crossed, jacket off like he owned the place. Nina stood beside me, silent. Mr. Hale hadn't arrived yet. You sure you're in the right room? Caleb asked, not looking up from his phone. Yes. He smirked. This isn't a job interview. I know. He glanced up then, amused. Then what is it? A conversation. About what? He asked. Because last I checked, curiosity doesn't close deals. Nina spoke before I could. He's here to listen. Caleb laughed. That's new. I took the chair across from him. You said learning costs. It does, he replied. And you look underfunded. I didn't react. He leaned back. People like you always think proximity equals participation. I never said that. You didn't have to, he said. You showed up. The door opened then. Mr. Hale entered quietly, coat still on, eyes scanning the room like he was already reading outcomes. Gentlemen, he said. Nina. Caleb stood. Good to see you. Mr. Hale nodded and took the seat at the head of the table. Let's begin. Caleb gestured toward me. He wants to understand the market. Mr. Hale looked at me. Do you? I want to understand leverage. That caught his attention. Caleb laughed. You're skipping steps. No, I said. I'm removing assumptions. Mr. Hale folded his hands. Go on. I want to know why a building with this location is still hemorrhaging. Caleb scoffed. Because you can't afford it. Nina didn't move. Mr. Hale didn't speak. I continued. Because debt compounds quietly. Because pride delays exits. Because people wait too long to admit loss. Mr. Hale nodded once. Accurate. Caleb straightened. That's cute theory. But theory doesn't buy property. No, I agreed. Position does. Caleb leaned forward. And what position do you think you're in? I met his eyes. One you didn't measure. Silence. Mr. Hale turned to Caleb. Let him speak. Caleb smiled thinly. By all means. I took a breath. You listed the building at a number no one touched because it wasn't honest. Caleb's jaw tightened. Careful. The owner is over-leveraged, I continued. Taxes overdue. Renovations delayed. Tenants rotating. Caleb stood. This meeting is over. Mr. Hale raised a hand. Sit. Caleb hesitated, then sat. I looked at him. You assumed I came here to ask permission. Nina finally spoke. He came to ask a question. Mr. Hale nodded. Ask it. What happens, I said, when the next quarter hits and the debt service spikes? Caleb's smile vanished. You don't have access to those numbers. I don't need access, I said. Patterns repeat. Mr. Hale leaned back. You're suggesting a short runway. Yes. And your interest? I didn't answer immediately. Caleb laughed sharply. He doesn't have one. I looked at Mr. Hale. I want to make an offer. Caleb burst out laughing. On what? The building. The laughter stopped. Mr. Hale's expression didn't change. At what valuation? I named it. Caleb stood so fast his chair scraped. That's insulting. It's accurate. You don't have the liquidity, he snapped. I looked at Nina. She slid a folder across the table. Caleb froze. What's that? He asked. Proof, she said. Mr. Hale opened it slowly. I watched his eyes move. Caleb's voice dropped. This isn't real. It is, Nina said. Verified. Mr. Hale closed the folder. You've been quiet until now. I don't talk when people are comfortable underestimating me, I said. It's inefficient. Caleb stared at me. Where did you get this money? I stopped explaining my choices, I said. That freed time. Mr. Hale smiled faintly. You're not here to negotiate. No, I said. I'm here to present. Caleb shook his head. This won't clear. It doesn't need to, I replied. It just needs to land. Mr. Hale stood. Give us a moment. Caleb rounded on me. You think this makes you powerful? No, I said. It makes me positioned. You're playing with things you don't understand. I understand exactly one thing, I said. You didn't think I belonged here. He sneered. You don't. Mr. Hale spoke calmly. Enough. He turned to me. Why this building? I answered honestly. Because someone underestimated it. He nodded. And you? I've been underestimated my whole life. Caleb laughed bitterly. This isn't revenge. No, I said. This is structure. Mr. Hale studied me for a long moment. You don't celebrate. There's nothing to celebrate yet. He smiled. That's why this works. He turned to Caleb. Draft it. Caleb looked stunned. You're serious? Yes. You can't be, he said. He's nobody. Mr. Hale met his eyes. Then you should have paid attention sooner. Caleb gathered his papers in silence. When the door closed behind him, Mr. Hale looked at me. You waited. Yes. You could have spoken earlier. I wanted to see who talked when they thought they were safe. He nodded. And? I learned. Nina smiled. He's ready. Mr. Hale extended his hand. Welcome. I shook it. Outside, the air felt heavier. Evan called. How'd it go? I made an offer. A pause. And? It landed. He laughed. You did it. I placed it, I corrected. Now I wait. I ended the call and stood still. I didn't feel victorious. I felt aligned. For the first time, nothing in my life depended on being chosen. I had chosen my position. And that changed everything. The elevator doors slid open, and everything changed without a sound. Good morning, sir, the receptionist said. I nodded. Morning. My footsteps echoed across the lobby, steady, measured. I could feel eyes on me, curiosity without recognition. That was fine. Recognition would come on its own. Your meeting is set for 10, a man in a suit said, walking beside me. Would you like coffee first? No, I replied. Later. The elevator chimed again behind me. I didn't turn. Hold on, a familiar voice said. Wait. I stopped. Slowly, I turned around. Lena stood near the elevator doors, one hand gripping her phone, her face caught somewhere between annoyance and confusion. You, she said. What are you doing here? I kept my voice even. Working. She laughed, sharp and reflexive. Funny. You don't work here. Yes, I said. I do. She frowned. Since when? Recently. She stepped closer, lowering her voice. Is this some kind of joke? No. Her eyes flicked to the man beside me. Is he bothering you? The man blinked. Excuse me? He's not supposed to be here, she said quickly. I know him. I met her eyes. I know you too. The receptionist cleared her throat. Everything all right? Yes, I said. Just catching up. Lena looked between us. You didn't tell me you had business here. You didn't ask. She scoffed. You're serious? Yes. She shook her head. This isn't funny. I'm not laughing. That seemed to unsettle her. The man beside me checked his watch. Sir, we should head up. Lena froze. Sir? He glanced at her. Yes? She pointed at me. You called him that? Yes, he said slowly. That's his title. Her laugh came out wrong. His what? I didn't respond. The elevator doors opened again. After you, sir, the receptionist said. I stepped inside. Lena followed without thinking. Wait. What's going on? The doors closed. The elevator began to rise. She stared at the panel, then at me. This floor? Yes. You don't belong there, she said. That's executive. Yes, I replied. It is. Her breath hitched. Stop saying that. Which part? All of it. The elevator climbed in silence. Finally, she whispered, Why are they calling you that? I met her gaze. Because it's accurate. She laughed softly, desperately. You're lying. No. She searched my face for cracks. This is about me, isn't it? No. That's worse, she said. That means you didn't come for me at all. The elevator slowed. Look, she said quickly, if you're trying to prove something. I'm not, I said. The doors opened. People were waiting. Good morning, a woman said. We're ready for you. I stepped out. Lena stayed frozen inside the elevator. Sir, another voice said, your office is prepared. I nodded. Thank you. Lena stepped out at last, her face pale. Office? She grabbed my arm. I gently pulled away. Don't. Her voice dropped. What did you do? I learned, I said. She shook her head. You can't just walk in here like this. I didn't, I said. I walked out first. Her eyes filled, but she blinked it away. This is insane. I agree. We stopped outside a glass door. My name was on it. She stared. Slowly, she read it again. No, she whispered. I opened the door. Inside, sunlight poured across a clean desk. New. Unclaimed. This is yours, she asked. Yes. Her voice cracked. Since when? Since people stopped underestimating me. She laughed once, hollow. You're doing this to hurt me. No, I said. I'm doing this because I didn't want to be hurt again. She stepped back. You didn't tell me. You didn't listen, I replied. She looked around. You were sleeping on a couch. Yes. And now this? Yes. She pressed her hands to her temples. You made me look stupid. I didn't, I said. You did that yourself. Her eyes flashed. You enjoyed this. No, I said calmly. I endured it. Silence stretched. Finally, she whispered, I thought you lost everything. I met her gaze. I lost what was weighing me down. Her lips trembled. You didn't fight for us. I fought, I said. I just stopped fighting you. She shook her head. If I'd known. You did know, I said. You just didn't care. She swallowed hard. You could have told me. I did, I replied. Just not in words. Someone knocked softly. Sir, your meeting. I glanced back. Give me a moment. They nodded and stepped away. Lena stared at the door, then back at me. So that's it? Yes. She laughed bitterly. You walk past me like I'm nothing. I walk forward, I said. You happen to be standing still. She crossed her arms. You think this makes you better? No, I said. It makes me finished. With what? With needing you to see me. Her eyes filled now. I see you. I shook my head. Too late. She reached for me again. Please. I stepped back. This isn't a conversation anymore. She whispered my name. I didn't answer. I turned and walked into my office. Behind me, I heard her breath hitch. The door closed. I sat down for the first time. My chair fit. Through the glass, I saw her standing there, frozen, small, silent. She finally understood. And I finally didn't need her to. She was waiting outside when I came down. Not pacing. Not yelling. Just standing near the steps like she didn't know where else to put herself. Can we talk? She asked. I stopped a few feet away. You're talking now. She flinched. Please. Just a minute. I checked my watch. 1. She nodded quickly. I didn't think it would be like this. Like what? Like you, she said. So, untouchable. I exhaled. I'm standing right here. That's not what I mean. I know. She folded her arms, then dropped them. I didn't expect you to disappear. I didn't. You stopped calling. You stopped needing me. Yes. That scared me. I looked past her at the street. You weren't scared when you ended things. I was, she said. Just not enough. Silence settled between us. I thought you'd struggle, she continued. I thought you'd realize you needed me. And if I had? She swallowed. Then I would have been right. About what? About being ahead, she said quietly. I nodded once. Thank you for saying it. She frowned. That's not what I meant. It is, I said. You thought love was leverage. Her eyes filled. I didn't mean to hurt you. I know. That's it, she asked. You know, and that's enough? Yes. She laughed weakly. Your calm like this is a meeting. It is, I said. Just not the kind you're used to. She stepped closer. I underestimated you. I noticed. I didn't think you had this in you. I always did. Then why didn't you show it? Because I was busy making space for you. Her shoulders slumped. I didn't ask for that. You accepted it. She closed her eyes. I thought practicality mattered more than feelings. And now? Now I feel everything. I didn't respond. You don't feel anything, she asked. I feel clear. That's worse, she whispered. I looked at her. Clarity doesn't ask permission. She shook her head. If I'd known you'd become this. You still would have left, I said. Just later. Her lips trembled. You don't know that. I do, I said. Because you didn't leave me. You left the version of me that didn't impress you. That's not fair. It's accurate. She wiped her eyes quickly. I was practical. You were strategic, I corrected. There's a difference. She laughed bitterly. I thought strategy made me strong. It did, I said. For a while. And now? Now it's just loud. She looked back at the building. So this is your life now? It's part of it. And I'm not. No. She took a shaky breath. I don't recognize you. That's because I stopped performing. For me? For anyone. She stepped closer again. Do you hate me? No. That hurts more than hate. I know. She searched my face. Do you forgive me? I don't hold it against you. That's not forgiveness. It's closure. She shook her head. You're really done. Yes. Her voice broke. I made a mistake. You made a choice. I thought I was choosing growth. You were, I said. Just not mutual growth. She looked down. I didn't think you'd rise. I didn't rise, I said. I stabilized. She laughed softly. You always correct me. I learned precision. She hugged herself. I don't know what to do now. That's not my responsibility. She looked up, eyes wide. You used to care. I still do, I said. Just not at my expense. She took a step back, like the words pushed her. I thought you'd fight for us, she said. I did, I replied. I just stopped fighting myself. She nodded slowly. So this is goodbye. Yes. She hesitated. Can I say one more thing? You already did. She smiled faintly. You always had the last word. I never did, I said. I just stopped interrupting myself. Her tears finally fell. I didn't see this coming. I did, I said. I just didn't warn you. She laughed through tears. That's cruel. No, I said gently. It's honest. She covered her face for a moment, then looked up again. I hope you're happy. I'm at peace. That's worse than happy. It lasts longer. She nodded, defeated. You don't need me anymore. I don't. She stepped aside. Then go. I walked past her. She called my name. I stopped but didn't turn. I really did love you, she said. I know, I replied. Just not enough to grow with me. I kept walking. Behind me, I heard her sob once, sharp and uncontrolled. I didn't stop. Not because I was cold. But because I finally understood something simple. Winning wasn't standing above her. It was standing without needing her to see me at all. And that was enough. The office was quiet in a way that didn't feel lonely. I sat at the desk long after everyone else had left, the city glowing outside the glass like it was breathing on its own. The chair no longer felt strange. It fit the way things fit when you stop adjusting yourself. You're still here, Maya said softly from the doorway. I needed the silence. She stepped in. You okay? Yes, I said. For real this time. She smiled. You don't say it like you're convincing yourself anymore. I don't need to. She leaned against the desk. That's new. It's earned. We stood there for a moment without rushing to fill the space. You know, she said, you don't look relieved. I'm not. Then what? Complete. She nodded slowly. That's better. After she left, I turned off the desk lamp and sat in the dim. My reflection stared back at me in the glass, not heroic, not broken. Just present. I thought about the man I was when I packed that bag. How small the world felt. How loud my fear was. How much of myself I had folded down to fit beside someone else. I used to think strength was endurance. I was wrong. My phone buzzed once. A message from Nina. Paperwork cleared. Congratulations. I typed back, thank you. Nothing more was needed. I stood, grabbed my jacket, and walked through the office one last time. Each step felt intentional. Each door closed behind me without echo. At the elevator, my reflection followed me down. I remembered the first time those doors opened. The shock. The silence. The moment her certainty cracked. I didn't feel satisfaction remembering it. Just distance. Outside, the night was cool. The building behind me stood solid, unbothered by who entered or left. I liked that about it. No memory. No judgment. I walked a block before my phone rang. Evan. You free? He asked. I am. Drink? Just one. We sat at the bar in silence longer than we talked. You did it, he said finally. I finished it. He frowned. That sounds heavier. It's lighter, I said. Winning keeps score. Letting go doesn't. He raised his glass. To not disappearing. I clinked mine against it. To not shrinking. When I got home, I stood in the doorway longer than necessary. No borrowed couch. No temporary corner. Just space that belonged to me. I didn't decorate it yet. I wanted to sit with the emptiness first. Later, lying in bed, I thought about her. Not the anger. Not the betrayal. Just the fact that she was a chapter that ended without closure in the way stories promise. And that was okay. Some endings don't explain themselves. They just stop. The next morning, I woke before my alarm. The light through the window felt calm, not demanding. I brewed coffee and stood there drinking it without scrolling, without distraction. For the first time in years, I didn't feel behind my own life. At work, there were meetings. Decisions. Responsibilities. None of them felt like proof. They felt like process. At lunch, Maya sat across from me. You ever think about her? She asked carefully. Yes. Does it hurt? No, I said. It reminds me. Of what? Of who I don't become again. She smiled. That's healthy. I had to lose something to learn it. She nodded. Most people do. That evening, as the sun dropped between buildings, I locked my office door. The click was soft. Final. I stood there for a moment, key still in my hand. Across the street, a figure paused on the sidewalk. I didn't need to see her face to know. She stood there like someone waiting for permission that wouldn't come. I didn't wave. I didn't hide. I simply turned and walked the other way. Not because I was angry. Because I was done orbiting a past that no longer pulled me. Each step felt lighter. Not dramatic. Not victorious. Just free. I realized then that revenge would have kept her central. Forgiveness would have kept her relevant. Letting go made her incidental. And that was the difference. At home, I placed the key on the table and sat down. No music. No noise. Just me. I breathed in. I breathed out. I didn't rebuild my life to prove her wrong. I rebuilt it so I'd never disappear again.